Ready?
Yep, here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Easing Stress and Emotions with your host, Dr. Ben Dover, where the doctor will teach you how to relax and calm your nerves. So now, bend over.
Hello, everyone. Here to talk to you about the little things you can do in your life to make things happen a little better, a little easier for you. One of those things is closing your legs and tightening your vagina.
Broadcasting live from high atop Stonehead Peak in the Blue Mountain Range, overlooking gorgeous downtown Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, it's the Jeff and Dan Show. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. It's time for the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm Dan Cocktoastin reporting live for the Jeff and Dan Show Action News. We're on location where the eye of the next Atlantic hurricane will be making landfall any moment now. The storm has reached epic proportions. Since it first formed a tropical depression in the open waters of the Atlantic Ocean and is now classified as an F5 hurricane. All of the original authorities have advised me to advise you to advise someone you may know in this storm's path to immediately evacuate. The authorities will not be able to... The authorities will not be able to help you. So calling 911 will do you no good after a certain point. The Jeff and Dan Show Action News team has just learned that the eye of the storm and the storm surge will be with a rubber duck. Folks, the situation is very dire here right now, which is why I encourage you to give a nice, warm, dry welcome to the co-host of the Jeff and Dan Show. Let's take it back to the studio where Jeff, the warm and safe and dry co-host of the Jeff and Dan Show, sits patiently. With the Jeff and Dan Show Action News, I'm Dan Cocktoastin reporting. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, man, out there doing all that fun-loving stuff. There we are. The Jeff and Dan Show is now here.
And that was a live report by our own very own Action News team reporter, Dan Cocktoastin. Cocktoastin.
Yes.
How are you tonight, sir?
I am pretty good. How are you, sir?
Good. We're having some hurricane action here this time of year.
We did. It was pretty bad, too. Apparently, it was a lot less than what they thought it was going to be, though. Which is good. Because there goes that dude. This one's even better. He rode that one. Yeah, lots of flooding. They thought it was going to be a lot worse, though. So, they thought it was going to be,
with the basic with what we saw last week, that size, that monster size, that F5 for a week.
Right.
I pretty much thought there was only going to be 49 states of America.
Yeah.
I thought Florida was going to be wiped out.
Yeah, because if you think about it, man, when a hurricane picks up sand, it turns into a sand blaster.
Yeah.
So you would think that it would have worn out a lot of shit down there in Florida.
If it didn't get blown away, it just would have been sandpapered
right. It would
out
have
of existence.
Exactly. Rubbed right out. So, yeah, it was bad, but apparently it wasn't too bad. So.
Well, what we're seeing out here today, our weather today, is remnants of Hurricane Irma.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be very strong at all.
No, yeah. As a matter of fact, she went into depression.
All's it is gray cloud cover. We had a little bit of rain, but not much at all.
Yeah.
Not much at all.
Very tiny.
We were supposed to get drenched from last night until Friday morning.
That's what that's what they said. But yeah, we didn't get jack shit. Apparently a lot of it went out to sea. I guess Jose was calling his bitch back. I don't know. You gotta come back over here, bitches. They're gonna put up a wall and not let me in.
Hey, man, you need to get your girlfriend Irma back here, man.
She done blowing everybody in Florida, man.
She's that much of a hoe.
Hey, what's closest you ever been to a hurricane?
The closest I have ever been to a hurricane, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the hurricane's name was Frederick. And I was actually walking through it.
Oh, what year are we talking?
We're talking like 77, 78, somewhere in there.
What the hell were you doing walking through it?
I had to come home from school. They let everybody out, and of course I was in Catholic school, so they didn't have like buses to take everybody everywhere. Right. So then I had to walk. Well, they thought, oh, well, it won't be too bad because, it's not hitting just yet. Well, damned if it wasn't hitting just yet. It was pretty bad. Because back then they didn't have the internet. They didn't have ways of being able to tell, here's where the storm's at. Here's what's going down. News reporters went by, bad and old information, so they didn't know anything. But yeah, sure enough, man, I actually got picked up and tossed across a yard.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. Well, I was only like 7 or 8 years old, so yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it was kind of funky, but, very, very, very scary. And my babysitter's children were supposed to be looking after me, and apparently they did not do so because, they're dicks. Anyway.
What are some of the major hurricane names that you remember?
Sandy. Yeah. Irene. These were not too long ago.
Ivan,
yeah. I remember Katrina.
Katrina.
Was pretty bad.
Denny? Was there a Denny?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Or Lenny? David from the 70s?
Yeah, there was that one.
Andrew from 90?
Yeah, there was 90. And then Agnes.
An interesting fact about Agnes and doing my hurricane research.
Yeah.
It started in the Gulf of Mexico, traveled a little bit south to the Yucatan Peninsula,
okay,
then started heading north, and made landfall in the Florida area.
Huh.
Now, in that Caribbean, it only briefly turned into a hurricane class 1.
Okay.
And that's it. It just got up there and just went right back down. So it was just a hurricane just for a little bit.
Right.
But the damage that it did in Pennsylvania was all water.
Yeah.
It was all flooding.
Yeah.
Because what was left over parked its ass right over Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And just poured for days.
Wow.
Like at some points, like 7-8 inches per hour.
Man, no shit.
Yeah. And again, that really wasn't even a hurricane. But you listen to all the old folk, and that hurricane just went and destroyed everything from Florida all the way to the Susquehanna River.
It was the worst. It was the worst. Yeah. Yeah.
I have some interesting facts about hurricanes.
Okay.
Hurricane life cycle.
All right.
Can start as a single thunderstorm.
Sure. I can believe that.
It usually starts in a group of thunderstorms.
Okay.
Then it turns to a tropical disturbance.
Okay.
7 Mary 3, tropical depression, middle Atlantic.
Yeah.
Then it turns into a tropical depression, which something about the, I'm not sure why it's a depression. I really didn't do my science homework that much. Let's just say it gets a little depressed. Then it turns into a tropical storm. These are all basically wind speeds now. The wind speeds pick up, and then it turns into a tropical storm. Then the wind speeds pick up some more, and I think it's 74 miles per hour, turns into a hurricane.
Wow.
I think.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anything above 74.
And after a hurricane, it goes back down the scale until it eventually becomes a cool, gentle breeze.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
That is so weird.
Something that used to take life and beat the hell out of land, property, and homes just turns out to be a nice breeze.
Yeah, and the way the jet stream goes, which is so weird, is that same air ends up at exactly where it was at when it started. It goes right back over the Atlantic up north, goes all the way over to England, drops down towards Africa, and then the African coast is what causes all these rolling things.
So, it's basically, it's cyclonic.
Yeah.
It is cyclonic. Hurricanes get their fuel from warm water.
Yes.
Hurricanes come from the Indian word that means evil spirit.
Yeah.
Hurricanes occur in the Atlantic, Caribbean, and Yucatan Peninsula. Typhoons are the same cyclonic storm, but it's in the Pacific.
Correct.
And they are called cyclones when they're in the Indian Ocean. Same circular cyclonic storm.
Yep.
Different name.
But they don't get as bad.
I can believe that.
Tell that to India, who is currently underwater.
The worst on record was in 1970 that land fell in Bangladesh and killed 1 million people.
Oh, wow.
You know, side note here, Your Honor.
Okay.
Bangladesh is always getting hit by floods.
Yeah.
I know they're a poor country, but come on, do something.
Right.
United
the
Nations, could you do any fucking good over here? Maybe, I don't know, teach that country a few things?
Yeah.
Throw them some cement to make some stuff?
Good luck with that shit.
Yeah, I know. The biggest loss of life in the U.S. was in 1900 when the unnamed hurricane made landfall at Galveston, Texas. Do you ever notice everything bad always happens in Galveston?
Yeah. Galveston
Explosions.
or Houston.
Causing 8,000 lives lost.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, of course, they weren't named until like the 1930s or 1940s.
Yeah, but
somewhere
still.
around there.
Yeah.
So this 1900 storm didn't get named.
Right, yeah.
I'm suggesting Hurricane Daniel.
Dan went down and kicked a little ass in Texas.
One more interesting hurricane fact.
Okay.
Hurricanes kill more people than any other storm. Mostly gays and surfers.
You better add news reporters to that too.
Oh yeah.
Those dicks are out there just like nobody should be out here in this right now, and they're like, dumbass, that means you too.
And take your stupid cameraman with you too. Oh no, he already left. Yeah. It's just sitting on a tripod.
It's anchored into the ground. Yeah. Hey, I got a tidbit of information. Would you like to hear the list of the most costliest?
Hurricanes?
Hurricanes, yes.
Oh, rock my world.
Except for the fact that, I'll read the top 10 to you, but except for the fact that Irma hasn't been all calculated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's on the list anyway. The most costliest in damage was Katrina.
I believe that.
$108 billion.
Most of that was just in
replacing people's houses. Yeah.
Just in New Orleans.
Yeah. Ninth Ward. Yeah, exactly. And Katrina did damage in Houston too. It was pretty bad for Houston as well. But yeah, the majority of it, brunt of it, ended up in the Bahamas and off the Gulf Coast, right there at the Delta. So.
And the way I'm to understand that part of the world, the Delta, New Orleans, all that area, is all technically under sea level, anyways.
Yeah. Yes.
So
it's like something like 19 feet under sea level in the Ninth Ward.
So a 5-foot wave would come along and kill everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
The Corps of Army Engineers. They're the people that are responsible. Like you were saying about Bangladesh, they should get somebody to do something about that. Well, that's what the Corps of Army Engineers was doing. Was down there to build up basically a dike. And keep it so that, none of the water would end up getting in and killing everybody in their houses. And they went ahead and told everybody preemptively in Katrina, they said, listen, this is going to get bad. But nobody listened. Nobody cared. And I think, honestly, they say that, but in truth, probably most people didn't get the word. You know what I mean? Because the Ninth Ward was known for being slightly a little bit slummish. Not too bad, but I mean, it was to the point where people just didn't communicate.
Maybe I can buy some of that, but poor or not, we all have iPhones.
Yes, very much so.
The poorest in the country has some kind of smartphone.
Exactly, some kind of interface that can look stuff up.
In between your Facebook and your Twitter and your Snapface account, go to the Weather Channel once in a while.
Yeah, MyFace or Spacebook or whatever.
Spacebook.
But so Katrina was the biggest one so far, $108 billion.
$108 billion.
Billion dollars, yes. And I'm taking that's pretty much everything that has to be repaired. And that includes people's houses or any kind of insurance that went against that as well. Sandy was number 2. That's the one that hit the East Coast a few years back.
Yes.
And did a lot of damage in New Jersey.
If my memory is correct, if my memories are accurate,
yeah,
that was only a category hurricane.
Category 3 is 3. Well, when it hit the shore, it was a 2. Yeah, but it reached status of Hurricane 3.
Okay,
that's at peak intensity.
Why do they always dip down a notch right before landfall?
Because they start getting frictioned.
Is it because of the continental shelf?
No. It's actually because it's starting to. Okay, hurricanes do best over flat areas.
Right.
Okay. So when it has a chance to go over that flat area for long periods of time, it has a tendency to build up and speed. The more hot that it reaches into the cold, together, like a thunderstorm basically, makes it go faster and get stronger. So when it has those two things that going against one another, it's like the perfect storm. It will automatically start, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. People were saying all kinds of shit like Irma's going to be like a Category 6. And I'm like, dude, there's no such thing as a Category 6. But they were right. It did get up there to the very top of what Category 5 is considered. Anyway, that's the main thing. A lot of people don't realize, that the way that the categories work. And it's weird because with Irma, because it's a record-setting storm, a lot of people learned a lot of different things about hurricanes, which was cool.
Hey,
it was cool.
Hey, take the advantage and bone up on your science a little bit.
Exactly. Get scientific if you can. So then, Sandy was number 2. And the thing was, it wrecked into New Jersey the worst, or as New Yorkers call it, just made it look a little better. So, so it was no big deal. No, I was kidding.
Those two are always fighting.
Yeah, they are. They are. They said New York's like, New York City's like, we got a dump. It's called New Jersey. It's where we send all our shit. Basically, it is, too. So,
does that count for your professional football teams, too?
The New Jerseys. You know who plays for New Jersey, right?
Who?
New York Giants.
Yeah.
The Meadowlands are in New Jersey. Yeah.
Giants playing.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the Jets play.
They play Upper Stadium, New York, which is the Yonkers area.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's up there pretty far. But I know that Meadowlands at one point in time, which is funny enough, Donald Trump was talking about settling some stuff and building up some structures there at one point in time. But he got kicked back. He got told that the water table is really, really high right there. In order to do it, they would have to bring in a whole bunch of land to try and, like Earth, to try and level it out. So, and it was just too costly. And that's why nobody's ever really built anything there.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. That basically that land area there is just swamp.
Right.
But they brought in enough earth to build the Meadowlands.
Yes. Well, the thing is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Meadowlands was actually built off the edge. So if you could imagine like a pit, okay, so it's like going under the ground 20 feet or whatever. But right at the edge, all you have to do is scoot a bunch of earth over from the side over there and level it out. And then automatically you no longer have swamps. And that's what they did with the Meadowlands, from what I understand. Yeah, and that's why New York Giants get to play there. So, in the swampy shitness. Anywho, number 3.
Number 3
is Harvey. Hurricane Harvey made it to Category 4 status. Went through a lot of South American, Middle American areas, Middle North America, I guess, Central America, Suriname, Guyana, Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize.
Nicaragua.
Yeah, Nicaragua. Yucatan Peninsula and southern and eastern United States. Now, that's the one that started back up while it was in the freaking Gulf. It was like, oh, it's a tropical storm. Wait a minute. It's a Category 1. Wait a minute. It's a Category 2. Wait a minute. It's a Category 3. Till it got to 4 status, and then it slammed into Texas. Completely and utterly dominating the hell out of Texas. It really, really rained a lot of shit on Houston, to the point where, I think we mentioned it, I have a picture where it is, I think it's like 17 or 18 feet off the ground where the stoplights are at. There's a picture I have where the water is just below the stoplights. So you got to figure that's about 18 feet, let's just say 17 feet of water. And that's enough to kill everybody. And it did damage, but apparently not enough. And I think a lot of people realized it was going to be, well, that was the thing. It was an uncertain event. They weren't sure what was going to happen. It just looked strange that it was sitting off the coast and not really doing anything. And then all of a sudden it just decided to get a little bump, go in and beat the hell out of, Texas.
Well, I hear that the state of Texas is so tough that Harvey eventually left.
Yeah. He just said, fuck it, I'm gone. Then he broke apart and changed genders and became Katya. Supposedly that's part of what happened.
I'll bet we paid for that surgery.
Exactly. It was a military thing. Anywho, number 4.
Number 4.
Harvey was 3 and Irma is 4. And she's not current. So she will be leading up. So is Harvey. Harvey is not current either. Both of those numbers will rise.
Sorry, dude. What was number 1?
It was Katrina.
Katrina. That's
Yes.
right. Sorry.
Katrina, Sandy, Harvey, Irma. Sounds like people don't want at my fucking party.
Kind of sounds like my family.
Exactly. I know that feeling. But no, that's what it really comes down to. And then rounding out the top 5 is Ike, which was one that landed in 2008.
I remember Ike.
So do I.
I like Ike.
Texas, Louisiana, and Midwestern United States got hit with that one. That was the one that basically kind of had the same path as Harvey. And then rounding out the top 10 is Andrew, which we talked about.
My sister got beat up. And no. Sorry, that was Hugo. Anyways.
Yeah, Andrew actually did make it to a Category 5. Wilma also to a Category 5. Ike to a Category 4. Ivan, which is number 8.
Ivan
Kachakakov. At $23.3 billion in 2004 as a Category 5 hurricane hit the Gulf Coast.
Is that it? Just $23 billion?
That is it. I know. Pissy.
So junior high.
And then our friend Irene, the one that came up here and bothered us in 2011 and flooded everybody, at $16.6 million, or $1 billion. She didn't do a lot of damage. But she only got to her Category 3, and if you remember correctly, I believe she hit our coast, and it was Category 2 at that point.
Don't remember.
Yeah, and then it dropped down real quick, like we were talking about. I just want to be depressed, So, and then finally, to level it all out, Charlie, which was in 2004.
Okay.
$16.3 billion.
$16.3 billion.
Yes.
Is the 10th ranked hurricane.
This is the 10th ranked hurricane.
$16.3 billion. I can't even fathom that much money.
I know, right? We need to discuss that too, because I wanted to discuss it at the beginning, and I started thinking, man, if you know, okay, I'll give you a great example. We talked about this before, but not on, since we've been on live. We talked about it before, but way back when I was growing up, and my grandfather was, pretty much grew up his whole life in a place called Front Royal, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And if you go to Front Royal, Virginia, there are 2 rivers that run right through it. Both of them are the Shenandoah River. One is called the North Fork, one's called the South Fork. It's basically just like that. One is at the north side. If you go to the north side, you drive over about a mile or 2, and then, or not even that, I guess it's about a mile. You get to the South Fork, which, it's basically the same river. They just divided, okay? And they do come back together again in different spots. Well, the main thing here is that in between both of the rivers is a big swath of land, okay? It's decent size. There's a lot of land there. And a lot of it is very much at the water table. So if the river rises even just a foot, there are people getting flooded. Well, there are people that build houses down there. And it infuriated me as a kid. To see that stuff. And I was like, why do they get to keep building that there?
Good question.
Why do they get to keep putting it back in if they know damn well? Why aren't insurance companies going, well, this is the 17th time we fucking replaced your house. We're going to have to do it again. Why weren't they just like, no, we're not going to insure you. Unless we raise your premiums up to an ungodly amount, like $4,000 a month. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? Yeah, cash me outside.
These people I know that live in Enola, they live along the river, and they were flooded out pretty regularly every 5 or so years.
Right.
And it was no big deal. They just wrote it off as a business loss, and the insurance company came in and built them up again.
Right. So exactly.
Finally, somewhere, the insurance company got the shits of it and say, hey, look, you're going to have to put your house on stilts or
right.
You ain't rebuilding.
Exactly. You have to raise your house to a 100-year flood level, which is happening every 5 years now. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but it's true. I had some friends, when I lived in an apartment, I had some friends who were close to a creek. I wasn't friends with them before that. Okay, it was after the creek had overflowed in Irene, as a matter of fact, like 30 feet over its banks. It fucking ruined every house over there. Because they were right on the creek. Like, quite literally walk out of their back door, walk 20 feet, get into a boat, canoe down the fucking creek. It was that close, and it was that realistic. And these people kept getting flooded out. And like every couple of years, we would have this massive rainstorm or whatever, and they would end up getting screwed up. Well, this one group couple with some small boys moved in next door to me in a vacant apartment, and got to meet them, know them, everything, and great people. They're really solid folks. But they had to stay in the apartment until they could fix their house. In order to do that, the insurance company had to pay out an amount of money. But the thing is, they won't pay out a solid amount. They won't be like, oh, well, it's worth $200,000. Here's $200,000. They don't do it that way. It's not like car insurance where you can say, well, I'm going to have a buddy of mine fix that. Just give me the check. You know what I mean? They don't do that. They're like, okay, we're going to pay for this, but you're going to have to build it, and you'll get your payments in installments. And usually they want you to have somebody who's a certified, builder come in and build the damn house. Well, of course, they had the prerequisite, just like you said about stilts, that they had to build their house, had to be above the level that the water could potentially get to, which was about 12 feet. So they built it on block. And it wasn't stilts. It was like just having a basement downstairs. But what they did was they made it so that if water came in, it just was able to come in and move freely. Okay? Which means, they didn't work very hard on making this pseudo basement a real thing.
That can still collapse a wall.
Oh, sure. But they had reinforcements.
Okay.
So it was, it was quite well reinforced. They weren't, they figured it out. Anyway, they built their house basically on top of this, what it was like a pseudo basement. It was just like a bunch of rooms or one room downstairs. And, it took a little while for them to do that. And he kept coming back to me and he was like, dude, insurance companies suck, man. They suck because they pay like this amount and it's not enough for the shit that I've done or covered, and it's very difficult for me to even approach a general contractor to finish my house because I don't have any collateral. I can't tell him, I'm going to give you this or get a loan. He's like, I need that money like right now. And they were so slow in getting everything going. And it really sucked. But eventually everything worked out. They ended up moving back in. And they've been through a couple more floods. And, they've been okay. They've come out on top. And no loss of electricity or anything like that, which was great.
Did they stay in the house?
Yes, they're still there. Yeah.
No, I mean, did they stay in the house during the flooding?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have to leave. They could have just, of course, their car probably got drenched, but I'm pretty sure they stayed there.
Why take the chance?
That's another thing, and that's what I was coming around to was people know that shit's going to flood. Okay, the Ninth Ward of Louisiana knows it's going to flood. They know at some point in given time, shit is going to fill up with water,
and it will again.
Right, get rid of the houses. If anything, get FEMA, instead of building up all this shit, spending all this money on Katrina, relief or whatever, to try and rebuild these fucking houses that are going to get drowned again,
Dude, think about what you're saying.
I know, I'm talking about the government.
You're asking the government to do something that makes common sense.
Yeah.
So,
at least
bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. And I think you touched on it briefly. Why do insurance companies continue to insure these floodplain people? Yeah, their premiums are higher.
Yeah,
but after you replace a house or two, how much more money are you going to get back in premiums?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. The insurance company's losing money over this. They're taking people who live. They're taking money from people who live in Minnesota who never see any type of activity like this, and people like that from the rest of the country, and that's the ones they're using the backup funds for. They're taking all that Minnesota money and turning it over so people in Houston can rebuild their houses in a fucked up area.
What's going to happen when the snow melts quickly in Minnesota?
Right, and that too. Now they're going to be. I don't see how this can continue.
Have you noticed insurance companies pretty much can do whatever the hell they want?
Oh yeah. They're like banks. Did you know that? They're regulated like nothing. They don't know. There's no real great regulation. There's insurance regulation, but that's not that big a deal. But now you got companies like Allstate who's giving out loans. They're banks. Yeah, they're banks. That's exactly what they've come down. They've become banks because they know it's smart to do that. They know it's great for them to be able to take the money that they're getting and invest it into people who need loans. They'll do that.
I'm going to start insurance.
Yeah.
Well, Amish life and health.
Well, it got to the point where, okay, I don't know if you know this or not, but the idea of interest rate is a very new thing. It's not always the way that it was. In the early 1900s, they didn't have insurance rates. I mean, I'm sorry, not insurance.
Interest rates?
Interest rates, yes. Interest rates. They didn't have interest rates. They had I am going to buy this from you, but I need you to borrow me the money, loan me the money, whatever, so that I can purchase it. And the guy at the furniture store said, sure, you can have this whole sofa set for $12. And the guy was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool, I'll take it. Will you take it out on loan? Sure. And he knew that he was going to end up getting his money back. Otherwise, you send a fucking brigade over to his house and burn it down. That's basically what happened. But no, the thing is, they knew that they were going to get their money back. Now, here's the thing they were thinking, okay? Wow, this whole sofa set and everything that's going to go in this guy's house cost me all of $3 to make, or $3 to get here from Houston or Dodge City or whatever the fuck. $3. So I'm going to sell it for $12. So I'm making a markup over top of that, okay? Which means that I'm getting paid for this thing rightfully. No insurance or no interest rates. There was just that loan. It was $12. He got his $12 back. He had then at that point made, $9 worth of, overage, markup, whatever, and paid off his $3 cost. So where did the thought of interest rates come in?
Probably whenever we started loaning cash
Right.
as opposed to goods and services.
Banks. Yeah. Because here's the thing. The federal government said to banks, well, you can't do these things that you're doing to people. And they've done
Unless
it pretty
you
recently.
cut me in.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But no, they sit there and they say, you can't do this such and such and such to people. And as recently as like 2015, they were still saying there was regulations for banks that they had to follow. Like, you can only do a specific thing with credit cards. If you overrun your credit card at our Rutter's getting gasoline because you had $1 in your account and you got $40 worth of gas, which is quite easy to do, you would not be charged an insufficient funds fee or non-sufficient funds fee because it's not a transaction of check or the bank account. It's a transaction of Visa. So they made regulations saying, well, you can't charge people an SF fee if it's credit because that's basically what it is. So that being the case, here we have those regulations, tons and tons of federal regulations. But at the time, in the early 1900s, very early 1900s, the banks said, we love holding money for people. Actually, I think it happened at the very end of the 1800s, now I think about it. We love holding money for people because here's how they worked it out. There were no interest rates for people that wanted to borrow money because people that were putting their money in trusted the bank enough to have their money there. And then they could charge a fee. And the people could be like, oh, okay, we're going to charge you $5 for having your stuff in here. And we're going to charge this person that we're loaning your money to a fee of $5 as well. There were no interest rates. And then the banks realized, you know what? We could make an impressive amount of money if we just charged a percentage of this thing called an interest rate. And let's go ahead and screw everybody in the meantime. Because now, here's how the system works. And I don't know that a lot of people know this. Here's how the system works. A bank exists to do transactions of input and output. That's all they're supposed to be able to do. Okay? Now, of course, they've, throughout the years, done other shit. But here's what they do. You come in with $100. You make a deposit, and you put it into your account. That $100 is not technically there. It's electronic. You and I both know that. The electronic amount goes to the other person who says, hey, I need to get a car. I need a $5,000 loan. The bank says, okay, well, I have all these collections of $100 savings from all these people, and I'm going to give you the loan for $5,000 to buy that car. First, I need to check your credit to make sure that everything's good. Of course, credit's got to rock into this fucking world. Nobody independently trusts you anymore. It really pisses us off. Yeah. So they end up taking...
tell you a thing about credit. Go ahead.
$5,000 they get for a loan, and then they say, oh, well, we're going to put an interest rate on top of that, and by the time all's said and done, you're going to pay $18,000 for this car. Basically what it comes down to, it's not really that high, but it is pretty high. Now, the person who put the money into the bank account, let's say they put it into savings, they're going to get a return from that. Let's say they only get 1%. Okay? That's what the bank is taking money from all these people that are depositing their cash and all the people who are paying for their loans and paying that 1% with. In the meantime, the people that they're giving loans to are paying 8, 9, 10, 12, 18, 22, 40% interest, right? Depending on your credit worthiness. It's like, motherfucker, I have paid every single payment that I've ever had to pay to my bank for my car loan, for my credit card, for anything that I needed to be able to do. You would think my bank would say something to the effect of, he's got great credit with us. Not with fucking TransUnion, not with Equifax, not with Experian, with us. We are the ones that are dealing with him. You would think they would say that, and they would be like, hey, would you like another $500 on top of that credit card? Or would you, when I go in and I literally say, I need another $500, you would think the bank would be like, yes, sir, can we suck your dick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, what do they say? Fuck no. I say, hey, you know what? I need to buy a house. I've got great credit right now. Let me go buy a house. I want to get a mortgage through you guys to make it nice and simple. They come back immediately with, no. Okay, well, fuck off. You know what I mean? That's what I say about my bank. Fuck them. Anyway, but that was the point of the banks, was that savings is what's going into loans. They're making their money from the interest rates they're bringing back from people, and less people are forfeiting on their loans or, not paying them. Anyway.
Let me say this about credit, and then we can move on if
Okay.
we so choose to.
Cool.
Credit, I've been trying to get some money for a couple years now. I haven't been successful. And one of the things I cannot understand is I've lived at the same address
Right.
for 15 years.
Right.
I have paid rent for 15 years. Now, without even asking, you have to know Dan's good at paying his rent, or else he would have been out on his ear
Right.
10 years ago.
Right.
Okay. No, that does not apply on the credit.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
No.
No.
They'll ask, but they're not asking for the reason you think.
Well, let me say this. Let's just say I only lived there 2 years there, 2 years here, 3 years there. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Kerstetter. You haven't lived. You're bouncing around from dress to dress. Oh, you wouldn't look at that when I lived somewhere for 15 years.
Exactly.
But you look at it now.
Right.
Yeah, the whole thing's a scam.
It is.
But
It is. But and the worst part about it is there's not a thing we can do about it. The only thing we could potentially do is get in contact with our congressman and be like, create a bill to change this shit because it's annoying.
well, I'll tell you what. And I'm not asking for this. I am not asking for this. But if I ever get a terminal disease, this is going to be one of the things I do. I will possibly rob a bank, but I am at least going to walk into a bank and just shout at the top of my lungs, "Bomb!"
Yeah.
That's all I have to do.
That's right, exactly. Everything changes at that point.
I'm also stealing a cop car. I'm also going streaking.
I like your end bucket list.
That's only if I have my luck, I'll be diagnosed with a fatal disease.
Right.
Mr. Kerstetter, you have 4 months to live. Oh, shit! And I go out and party hardy for 4 months, and then the day I'm ready to die, the doctor calls me. Good news! We got those test results mixed up with somebody else.
Yeah, you're
You're
not
gonna
fucked.
live!
Yeah, you're not fucked. You're good.
Oh, damn, I got court next week.
What do I do now? Suffer and live in prison for the rest of my life? Okay.
You know what? I just thought of a good defense.
Okay.
I think, Your Honor, I did that because it was the end of my life bucket list. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. I thought I was dying.
See what they say.
You see what they say?
Oh, yeah, they'll be like, okay, sir, I think after our understanding of what happened in your life, we're going to go ahead and let you go. All right, cool. So I didn't mean to kill those kids. Yeah, no, that's horrible.
No.
Anywho.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, hey, why don't you play a commercial for our audience?
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Okay.
Weed. Because fuck alcohol. You've saved all your hard-earned cash. You bought the tickets. Your family has made the journey all the way to Isla Sorna. You and the wife are excited. Your kids are excited. So why let a little something like a reptile dysfunction stand in your way?
Oh my God, run!
Heck, you wanted to get a closer look at the abomination that is DNA cloning, and here you are. Look out, little Johnny. That velociraptor is hot on your tail. Oh, Mom, you've officially been eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Don't you feel happier now? Num num. They hunt in packs. Oh, God. So why not bring the family down to Jurassic Park? Jurassic Park. Enjoy yourself to death.
He lost his virginity before his dad did. He is not hung like a horse. A horse is hung like him. He can believe it's not butter. Each of his testicles is larger than the other one. He can order a Whopper at McDonald's and get one. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it is because I am out of weed.
Weed. Because fuck alcohol.
All right, there we go. The more you know.
This has been a public service announcement from the Jeff and Dan Show.
Very much so.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm Dan, and that's Jeff.
All right.
Thank you for your warmness.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, hey, this week we got dreams. We're talking about dreams. Yeah, ooh, everybody likes dreams. Everybody has dreams.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
All right.
So, let's do the top 6, 8, 10, whatever, how many we got, dreams and nightmares.
Yes. Okay.
I'll do one.
All right.
No, wait.
All right.
What do you think would be better? I do a dream, then you do a nightmare, or I go through my whole list and you go through your whole list?
Well, let's do it that way.
Okay.
Yes.
So, anyways,
Yeah. 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 I don't have anything here. I need to find some kind of music to go over top of this, but
Suck my balls.
the top 10 dreams
top 10 dreams
that we all have.
Good
Number
dreams.
10 in the survey,
Okay.
the flying dream.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a flying dream?
I have
I
numerous
have.
times.
I
Yeah.
have. The one that the one that comes to the top of my head is I once had a dream I was flying over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very high,
Okay.
and then I took off.
I can see that.
All I remember is I was flying over Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. But I just remember I was flying. I still see it,
Right.
but that's all I remember of the dream.
Okay.
But have you ever had a dream you were flying?
I have.
Of course you have.
I have.
Would you like to share?
Sure.
Okay.
I was flying. Dude, I honestly don't remember much about it, but I do remember it was really cool because I don't know that I realized I was dreaming this, but in some ways I was kind of like, oh, wait a minute, I can fly, and then just started flying.
Were you like Superman, or were you like a bird, or,
Kinda
or were you
like
in a
just-
vehicle?
I was a balloon.
A balloon.
Yeah, except the balloon could stop at a certain level and then fly forward. Yeah, exactly. And pop and hit the ground like the greatest American hero. Yes.
Oh. Coming in our survey, number 9.
Number 9.
Most common dream.
Okay.
Losing teeth.
Losing teeth.
Losing teeth.
Ooh,
I've had
wow.
like 2 or 3 of these dreams.
Yeah.
And the dream psychologists, the dream experts say it's usually powerlessness and losing control or embarrassment
Right.
that causes these losing teeth dreams.
I can, I can believe that. As a matter of fact, that's a number 6 nightmare.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would be a nightmare, too. I've always enjoyed the dream of losing teeth.
I've always enjoyed the dream of somebody else losing teeth.
Honey, I lost another one. It's your turn to find it.
It's me. I have fucked it up. All right.
Number 8 coming in our survey in our top 10 dreams.
Number 8.
Intoxicants.
Oh,
Have you ever did any intoxicants while you were dreaming?
I have not actually.
It means, from the great dreamscapes, or the great dream psychologists and experts, it means trying to escape from or ignore a bad situation.
No shit.
I think it's because addicts want to get high.
Okay.
Like I got high, or I tried to get high several times in my dreams. Only once did I ever accomplish the feeling of being high. The other times I was struggling. Why am I not getting high? Why am I not getting high?
Right.
Nobody else understands this except a pothead. But anyways, I couldn't get high. And there's been several dreams where I smoked a cigarette
Okay.
And I actually smoked it. And I felt that buzz, sort of. I felt, every time I smoked it, I remember thinking, I felt guilty.
Right.
And I think the smoking cigarette dreams were times of cessation when I didn't smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Like now, I'm susceptible to having a dream cigarette.
It's nicotine.
Should I get a Marlboro Light? Coming in at number 7 in our top dream survey.
Scariest dreams.
Numbers.
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 That was a dream?
People dream of numbers all the
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah.
All
That's
the time.
definitely true.
What's really interesting I notice about dreams and numbers is all those people, I'm going to play the lottery. Every single damn one of us. I dreamt of the number 634. Go play that 50-50 box day and night.
Yeah, exactly. That's I actually have had dreams. As a matter of fact, I had a dream where I won the Virginia lottery. It wasn't in the dream. It wasn't the Virginia lottery. It was something else.
The vagina lottery.
The vagina lottery. No, it was more like Powerball in a way. But I played when it was worth $26 million, and I won.
Is that the number you remember? 26 million?
No, I remember the numbers that I picked. Well, I did. I don't remember them anymore.
Anymore?
Yeah. I did remember at that point after I had the dream, I was like, oh, shit. So I got to wait until it's 26 million and then play these numbers.
Meanwhile, they're hitting right and left on 18 million,
Yeah.
7 million. Well, anyways.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Powerball doesn't play unless it's 40 million to begin with. Son of a bitch.
Now, do you remember any kind of connection with these numbers in your personal life?
I don't. No, I don't remember it. To be honest, it just seemed like a source of random numbers. But the one interesting thing was one of the numbers from the thing that I had picked in my dream was from somebody's front door. Like right beside their front door were their numbers for their house.
Somebody you knew, or
I don't know. I don't think I did. I think I just looked and I was looking at it and I was like, oh shit, that number, I'm going to play that number. And yeah, I never had a chance to freaking, never had a chance to play it so that I could win $26 million. I just never, the times that it was $26 million, I didn't have any cash. So I'm just like,
which is where the number 0 came in.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Number 6 in our list of surveys of dreams, top dreams all humans have, water dreams.
Oh.
Usually signify, according to our great dream psychologists and experts, usually signify emotions.
Okay.
Is the water calm? Is the
Right.
water dirty? Is the water clear? Is the water wavy, choppy? It all comes down to our emotions, according to the dream psychologists.
Right.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I remember a couple dreams I have, and I can remember several cases where the water was in different stages. One, I remember it rushing like a flood in a creek, and it took this little red Ford Fiesta I was driving.
Right.
I got out and escaped okay.
Yeah.
And it just swallowed up that Ford Fiesta.
I believe it.
Festiva.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
That piece of shit. Anyway.
one of the things you have to remember in all your dreams, not just your water dreams, but you have to remember, what is your mood?
Right. Yeah.
My mood during that dream was, oh, well.
So you weren't worried about it.
I wasn't worried at all. In fact, I was amazed at the water. You know how like kids are young kids when they first see water,
Right.
pouring and moving, like, oh my God,
Yeah, what is that?
what is that? Where have you been keeping this beautiful stuff at?
This liquid love.
Oh, there's a beautiful bowl in a bathroom just filled with it. Let's go play in it. So, yep. Remember your moods in all dreams. Number 5 on our survey is prophetic dreams. Sometimes they are the most clearest of dreams because they're prophetic. They want to tell you the future.
Right.
Have you ever had any prophetic dreams?
I have, but I couldn't tell you what they were right offhand. I just know that not the exact same thing that happened in the dream, because I've never had that happen. But I have had a dream where I forecasted something and it actually came true. My wife has this really weird thing about doing that, and she'll like dream about something and then she refuses to tell me what it is. And then something happens and she's like, that's exactly what I dreamt about. And I'm just like, you suck.
You know what? So I believe you next time, Christy. Write it on a piece of paper and keep it.
Write it down. She's like, no, I don't want to ruin it, man. Because I'm like, What difference does it make if it happens? You know, if it doesn't happen, it's even better. Sometimes she actually has bad, what feel like premonition dreams, and she tells me about them right away. Because she does not want them to happen.
So
Right.
it kind of, she feels it kind of lifts the curse.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay, all right. I had a couple dreams come true. I had a couple of premonition dreams.
Okay,
The one dream I had was my truck was going to have a flat tire.
okay.
Certainly, several days later, my
Was that-
truck had a flat tire.
Was that the Monster or was that the S10?
It was a Monster.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep. Came out, there was a flat.
Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah.
The next time I had a dream that came true, I dreamt I got fired from Turkey Hill.
Oh, wow.
And a couple days later, I get fired from Turkey Hill.
Yeah, those shits.
The next one, which I wish I never would have had, was I was walking behind my wife for about 20, 30 feet,
Yeah,
and it was a beautiful sunny day.
yeah,
That's it. It was a beautiful sunny day.
yeah.
My mood was fine.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Christy gets hit by lightning and just drops right to the ground.
Holy shit, did that really happen?
Almost.
Really? That's fucked up.
And I immediately ran up to her.
Yeah.
Fast forward a month or maybe two, was outside at the cabin.
Yeah. So where
And-
she broke her leg.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I was 20 feet away from her,
Yeah.
behind her, looking at her, and down she went.
Damn.
I ran up to her, and she wasn't hit by lightning, so I said, okay, everybody up. No, she fell and broke her leg. Almost step per step of the way I saw it in my dream.
Wow.
But
Dude, that's wild.
that is wild. I think the lightning signified, or it meant or signified, tragedy. You
Yeah.
know, how tragedy strikes. Tragedy! Tragedy!
Who is that? Is that the Bee Gees?
That's the Bee Gees.
I thought it was the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays, they don't know what the fuck a BG is. Is that like a blue job?
A blue job?
A blue job, yeah. Is that like when a fucking Smurf blows you? Come on. Yeah.
Where when the hooker isn't paid, she just sits there. Coming in at number 2
Number 2.
of our most common dream themes that all humans have: communication with deceased loved ones.
Okay.
Have you ever had one of those?
I have.
You have.
Yes.
Would you like to share it with us?
Thanks.
Okay.
It was my grandfather, believe it
Okay.
or not. It was a very short dream.
Very short.
He was coherent because, as you know, he had Alzheimer's at the end. But he was very coherent in the dream, and he told me something, and I don't remember what it is now, but it was like almost prophetic. It was like words to live by.
Okay.
And like my grandfather, I always credit him with being the first person to tell me his little advices on life. His was, you know what you get when you do a bunch of hard work? More hard work. And he was right. He's absolutely correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, he said something to me in the dream. Like I said, I don't remember what it is, but
How old were you? You were an adult.
Yeah.
You were an adult.
yeah, I was like 25.
Was he
26.
passed away at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel in your dream?
I felt sedated.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, it was just like I was sort of laid back and chill, and everything was cool. I wasn't freaking out the fact the guy was standing there talking to me. You know,
That guy's talking to me.
yeah,
How did you feel when you woke up?
like I was in hell. No, I'm just kidding. I actually felt a little weirded out, a little bit strange because I finally put 2 and 2 together. You know, those dreams where you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I had a dream, and this is what it was about, and now I remember it. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things where you woke up and went, oh my God, I had a dream, I know what it is, you know? Yeah, I had to put 2 and 2 together, and once I did, I was like, whoa. I was like, that's pretty wild shit.
When you were dreaming, was the dream clear, or was it dream like off and on cloudy?
No, it was perfectly fucking clear. Yeah, so you couldn't have gotten it any clearer. And then we were inside, but you could tell, like, everything around it was like there was sunlight. And it was very much eking into the room, and it was very, I don't know, it wasn't unnatural, like supernatural or anything, but it was definitely unique because it was very bright.
Were you and him close in the living years?
Yes.
Okay.
Not super close, but we were pretty close.
Were you his only grandson by any chance?
No.
Okay.
No,
Were
he's got 4 grandchildren, four grand boys, I guess.
grandboys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're
so-
called grandsons.
grandsons, whatever. Grand boys.
When he spoke with you, I don't want to influence your words or your answer, so I have to kind of
Figure out a way to say it.
yeah. Did you see his lips move?
I don't remember. But now that you mention that, it almost seems like they weren't.
In our dreams where deceased loved ones appear to us, the way to tell that they're real, which I think yours was real. I think you were visited.
Yeah.
They speak telepathically.
Okay.
You are at peace. You are calm. You are serene. It feels so real that you're asking yourself in the morning, was that real? Did that really freaking happen?
Right, yeah.
Where was I last night? Was I
Yeah.
drinking? And you're at peace. I can't remember the other ones, but you described it. You described them perfectly. But yeah, I had one of the dream. I had one of those dreams too, and I think I told you about it. I was with a foster father, and I was in his truck, and we were driving on his property, and it was so clear. It wasn't cloudy like a dream. We were talking. I said my piece, and he communicated with me, but I can never remember. I don't remember his mouth moving. I don't remember seeing his lips move.
Right, yeah, almost like you weren't even paying attention to
Well, I
it.
mean, looking out the window or something,
Yeah.
and you heard him, and you just didn't know.
Oh yeah, or you were just focused on his face, but not his mouth for some reason. That's what it was for me. It was I remember looking at him like I was looking at him in the eye, but I don't remember a mouth there, dude. Now that I think about it, it's like it might have been a mouth, and it might not have said a word.
I believe you were visited, and I do
possible.
believe in visitations and dreams.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why some get them, some don't. Why some people visit you and others don't. But like there was something that happened between him and I that needed the air cleared.
right.
But it wasn't like I knew the guy for a year.
Yeah.
What possible? There's been other people that affected my life way more than him.
Right.
Why are they not coming to me in my dreams?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But, him and I had something to settle, and we settled it.
Maybe it was a chance for you to be able to settle it.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think I was the one that had the problem, not him. I was the one that was wrestling with this time and time again. And I also dreamt about his wife, too.
Oh wow.
I don't know if that was prophetic or not,
Yeah.
but, when I think about it now, it wasn't as real because you know how in dreams scenery changes, things change.
All
Like
the
all of a
time.
sudden there was a couch, then it just changed into a hunk of cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was a guy there cutting you some.
I've been. There's a dude in here cutting the cheese. Anyway,
Would you
no.
like a slice?
I have been in that situation numerous times where I'm in a house or an apartment or something, and I go to turn around and go do something else, and as soon as I turn around, I'm outside.
Yeah, the scenery just
Right,
like that.
and I'm like 50 miles, 100 miles away from where I was just at. Like, for instance, I used to have dreams where I was in the apartment that I lived at when I was a kid, and the next thing I knew, I was at the Jefferson Memorial, overlooking the river and stuff, and being able to see like Japanese cherry blossoms and stuff like that. It was like I was 1 second there, and all of a sudden I went to turn around, like I blinked, and as soon as I turned around, I was in in D.C. I'm like, what the hell? It was creepy. It was
that
very
doesn't
creepy.
happen to me. What happens to me is just scenery just changes instantly.
Really? Just
like
all the way around you.
we're just like okay, we're there. What? Wait a minute, we were just in a car on
Yeah.
a highway.
Yeah.
Now we're here inside the park ordering popcorn.
There's some people that say, I've heard them say this before. There's some people that say if your scenery changes that quickly and it's not the same that it was right before that, then more than likely you've done something in your actual life, like snored too loud and kind of woke yourself up, but didn't. You were still back to sleep, but then you were in a different location.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that. I thought you were going to say I was gay. Well, you know what? I have heard that too, that the outside world can and does influence your dreams, like the alarm clock.
Right.
With your alarm clock going off, you might interpret it when it seeps through. You might interpret it as some little kid just repeating over and over,
Right.
"Get the trash out! Get the trash out!
Right.
Get the trash out!" And
All of a sudden he's like, and you're like, holy shit, what is that?
why are your eyes flashing?
7 o'clock. Fuck, man, come on.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, no
well, that's
worries.
sleeping in.
Yeah, for you it is.
The top number one dream that all humans have.
Number one dream.
Number one coming in our survey this week. Last week was at number 3. And this
Nice.
long distance dream dedication goes up. Oh wait, sorry, it was a Casey moment. It's the love dream. Now
Love.
this encompasses a lot.
And probably romance and sex, both too.
Yeah, yeah, they all tie together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, I never. Okay, yep, love.
Love, exciting and new.
I've had a couple dreams, mostly when I was a young man, before I was married, that I was with a girl. And, well, she never looked the same, but I can never actually remember what she really looked like.
Okay.
But this one dream I had, I remember this girl I was kind of dating in my dream, whatever. She had a pink sweater, and she had big breasts.
Okay.
Nice big breasts.
Big boobies.
But that's all I remember. I don't remember anything else about her. I don't remember. I also dreamt of a skinny young blonde one time,
Yeah.
and I don't remember her face.
Yeah.
But we were laughing and we were playing and enjoying the sun, and all of a sudden I wake up and she's gone.
Yeah.
That was my love dreams. They've gone away since I got married.
Yeah.
But
Good.
I remember times when I was a really young man. In my dreams, I was getting ready to have sex. I'm gonna have sex.
Right.
Gonna have sex.
This is gonna be great. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's gonna be great. Yeah.
And then I don't have sex. I wake up.
Oh shit! I hate when that fucking happens. There's nothing worse than that, except for what I'm about to tell you. Have you ever had a sex dream where you were having sex with someone you didn't want to be having sex with?
No, I never had a sex dream.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said that. No, I have. Sex dream where I was having sex with someone I did not want to be having sex with.
Was I good?
No, Bill Clinton was horrible. Yeah. Oh
Were
my
you-
goodness.
Were you really having sex with Bill Clinton?
No, it wasn't Bill Clinton.
No, I mean to tell you that Jeff guy.
Wait,
He can really change a dude.
this happened. It wasn't sex. It was just making out. But there was. I had this fucking dream, dude. One of our guests that were on the show quite some time ago. One of
All
our first
right.
guests.
All right.
Yeah, I had a dream that I was making out with him.
Oh my God. I have got to get this on Facebook.
Jeff is over there. No, yeah, Eric. I actually had a dream about Eric when I was making out with him.
Does he know this?
Yeah, I told him about it. This was a long time ago, but still. Yeah. But dude, it was funny because, it was like I did not want to be dreaming that, but that's what I was dreaming about.
Was it lucid?
Yeah, no, it wasn't lucid. It was just a dream that I was having. I could not wake up from it. I couldn't do anything from it because, here's the thing. In my mind, I was like, ooh, 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 ooh. And I'm sure Eric in the dream was probably like, ooh, 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 ooh. You know what I mean? And then but it was like, I don't know. It wasn't extended. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my God, we're making out. It was like I gave him a kiss. And I'm like, that's really fucked up.
It was just a...
Yeah, it was quick and over with. It wasn't like tongues or any of that shit. I mean, it was kind of a little bit warm and wet, I guess. But then I woke up like immediately after, and I made the mistake of telling my significant other.
And then you weren't allowed to be with Eric.
Right? Yeah, they were like, no, he's got to fucking go. I'm like, okay, well, no, seriously. A lot of people made fun of me for quite some time with that.
Never tell my wife you had a sex dream.
Oh, really?
You'll never hear the end of it.
Oh God, is she going to tell me about hers?
No.
Oh.
One time I dreamt about her sister's boobs.
Oh.
And it wasn't sexual at all. It was actually clinical.
Okay.
I just made the observation, wow, her boobs are small. Okay. And then in dreams, the scenery changed and something else happened.
Right.
I did not think sexually of her.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of telling Christy.
Christmas.
And every Christmas or every time we get together, she has to bring it up and embarrass me in front of all her family.
Oh, fucking shit.
At least you're not dreaming about my sister's tits.
Nice.
So, well,
She gets it.
how about you tell us what the most common nightmares are?
Okay.
See how many I had.
There is some conflicting, some confliction in some of the stuff that's listed on here. So I'm going to read it and I'm going to sort of go through it a little bit.
Okay.
Number 10 is natural disasters. Yeah, or the feeling of being lost or trapped in the natural disaster. Yeah. So apparently the natural disaster, of course, is bigger things than you are making, waves in your life. And that's basically what that nightmare is about.
Understandable.
I have had dreams, especially after 9/11, which we celebrated this week. I feel so weird saying celebrated because it doesn't fucking sound like fun. I had my son in here the other day, and he was doing his little podcast thing, or broadcast thing, and he goes on there and he says, "Happy 9/11 Day, everybody." And I'm like, dude, you got to stop. I was like, you cannot put that shit out. People will crucify you for that. He's like, why? And I said, dude, because a lot of people died that day. And then I had to sit here and explain to him.
And everybody starts calling him Liam. Liam Muhammad.
That's right. But no, he didn't get it. But that's the thing. A lot of people feel with larger natural disasters or being trapped or being caught up that they...
I can't say as if I had one. I remember that lightning strike I told you with Christy.
Right.
At this time, that's all I can remember as far as weather phenomenon.
Yeah. I have had one of the natural trap dreams. As a matter of fact, I was going to say, but I got sidetracked as always. Mine was a 9/11-esque type dream.
Okay.
Where I was stuck in a stairwell. And the majority of the building had collapsed around me. And I was trying to reach down to somebody who was down there. And I was reaching too far, and apparently I fell off the ledge that I was on. And just before I hit the ground, right below me, I woke up. So it was like one of those dreams, and I've had numerous of these dreams where you're running or doing something. Or the worst ones for me is when I'm standing at the edge of a cliff and I'm looking over. And then all of a sudden I just start leaning the rest of the way.
This is a common theme in your dreams,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Over the edge, high.
Very over the edge, yes.
Yeah.
Over the edge, high. That's exactly how I'd like to live life.
Not me, just high is fine.
Okay, so number 9.
Number 9.
There's a confliction in here. Falling or drowning, or seeing the dead. Yeah, so one of those two is actually going to be the number 9. I believe falling or drowning because we just sort of touched on that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go with that one. Seeing the dead is another possibility for the number 9, though.
Dude, those dreams that we have before we're drifting off to sleep, or maybe we are asleep, where we're falling, and then we shake in bed, and then we wake up all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wow, I just had never mind.
Right.
Is that a dream?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
You're talking about the ones where you're just now drifting off, and then all of a sudden you just...
Well, you couldn't have been asleep no more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, not even that.
Or
It's probably
10
like 30
minutes.
seconds, if anything, and then all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, what the hell?
And they never hit the ground.
Right. Yeah, no, not ever.
Now, I'm sure you've heard this. Oh, if you hit the ground in your dreams, you die.
Yeah.
Really? How can you prove that? Do you know anybody that was dreaming they hit the ground and died?
No, and that's the reason why.
Do you get inside and get their little tape cassette out and play it and watch it?
Play back their shit.
Play back their dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew you felt that way about me.
They've done sleep studies and stuff, and I'm pretty sure the amount of stress that gets put on your body by falling or something like that probably could. I mean, the great movie The Matrix did a real good job of that. They said, if you die in The Matrix, you die for real. And they're like, because the body can't exist without the mind. And that's what The Matrix was basically the mind. You know what I mean? The mind be able to do stuff in like certain realms and things like that. It was only what you believed it was going to be. And that's one of the things they preached. And they've done it in several other movies too, where they said, well, if you die in your dream, you die for real. Nightmare on Elm Street's another great example of that. Freddy Krueger kills your ass. If you're Johnny Depp, you wake up in a fucking in a water bed underneath the mattress, and I don't know how the hell he ended up getting there. But anyway, so let's go on to number 8.
Number 8.
Yes, and this was another conflicting one too. Missing important events. I'm going to go with that one because missing important events is a pretty big thing. I know all of us have had that dream where we're like, my sister's getting married. Holy shit! Oh my God, she's getting married. She's already in the chapel. She's there. I gotta go. And not being able to get there in time. Yeah, so that's what makes it a nightmare.
Do you know what it means?
Yeah, basically, that the... Oh, shit, wait a minute. Hang on here. I did have it. I swear I did. I did have it.
Well, while you're doing that...
Ooh. Yeah. It's time to get that in there.
That was cute. Let's hear it again.
Okay. Yeah, that one guy just... There goes the reporter.
I tell you, if you could ride a hurricane, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, yeah.
180 miles an hour going around in circles for
Exactly.
a giant 300-mile circle
Exactly.
at 180 miles an hour. Half an hour later, you're back at the same spot.
Right where you were at. Yeah, exactly. You get a parachute out and just start riding that bitch. You would stay at the top. They wouldn't take you down. It would take you up.
It would take you up?
Yeah, it would have to.
Keep you there?
Probably, yeah. And probably either keep you there or deposit you somewhere offshore where you don't want to be. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's a possibility it would fling you off and
That's what
all
I'm
of a
saying.
sudden you're in Guatemala?
Yeah. I'm in Waterbola? Yeah, all right, let's do that. Missing important events. Nightmares about missing your wedding, an important appointment, or some other special events are particularly common in people who live a fast-paced and high-pressured life. Although they can happen to anyone. These types of nightmares often linked to anxiety about failing or not being able to perform up to expectations. She thought my dick was too small. Anyway...
I don't quite make the connection, but okay.
Yeah, I do. I do see that one in the anxiety about failing. I could definitely see that being a situation.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Some 666 telephone numbers calling my house.
Hello, is Jeff there?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
You know. But yeah, no. So that was the answer for that one, and I went with that one over top of the machine or phone malfunction dream, which it happens to people, but it doesn't happen
What
quite that
dream?
frequently. Machine or phone malfunction.
The machine or phone malfunction.
Yeah, for some reason there's an exuberant importance for you to be able to get this fax machine working so that you could send this fax to this dude somewhere in the world. And it doesn't work, and you're like, oh my god, and you're freaking out. You know what I mean? One of those kinds of dreams. That's the reason why I didn't pick that one, because it's a really low, not really nightmarish kind of thing.
What does it mean?
Good question.
According to our dream psychologist and experts.
All right, hang on a second. I will find out for you. Here we go. Yes. One of those things are happening.
What was that?
Did you call someone in your dream only to have it ring endlessly without anyone to answer? Did your computer's hard drive crash while you were in the middle of writing a paper? These are in your dreams, of course. Okay. While these are not particularly terrifying dreams to some, a crashed hard drive can be just as devastating as a crashed car. You know what? That is absolutely correct. I had 7 hard drives fail me last year and this year.
Dude, what are you
7.
doing?
I know, man. I got to stop coming on them. Anyway, malfunctions with technologies, especially communicative technologies like a fax machine, a telephone, computer, so on and so forth, may mean you are failing to reach out to someone on an emotional level.
Okay.
So basically, I couldn't get the fax through, so Dan didn't get the important thing that he needed. And I need to be able to tell you something. I love you, man.
Just write me a fax.
Exactly. No kisses for you in my dreams. You are failing. Okay, yeah. So have you lost touch with a good friend? Is there a disconnect or barrier forming between yourself and a loved one? If this is a common nightmare of yours, take the time to reevaluate or just evaluate your relationships and identify key areas that need to be mended.
I'm going to go home tonight and fax all my kith and kin just to make sure everything's cool.
Yeah, none of them are going to get it because nobody has a fax machine anymore, but okay.
I don't have a fax machine
Yeah,
either, so
yeah.
this is really going to be...
This is going to be a long, long fucking process. I'm going to have to type out each word in Morse code over the phone. Yeah, they're going to be like, what the fucking click?
Your brother's calling again.
He must be trying to fax some shit.
Either that or he's all drunk and he needs to tell you he loves you.
Yeah. So this next one, number 7.
Number 7
has gone, and they've gotten together on this one. Being naked.
Being naked.
Or inappropriately dressed in public. One of the two, but naked, I'll go with naked.
I've never been...
Never had a naked dream?
Never had a naked dream.
I've had only a couple of naked dreams, but my family lately has been having a lot of them.
Really?
Believe it or not. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I didn't, they're like, yeah, it's so embarrassing. I'm like, dude, what's embarrassing about it? You know what I mean? I'm fat, I'm ugly. People know this already. There's nothing that I'm going to be able to hide. It's like, holy shit, I pulled up my shirt and I have an 8-pack. Come on. Fucking doesn't work that way. They know I'm fat. They know I'm ugly. I'm just going to take my shit off and get out there and have fun. You know what I mean?
You would think in your dreams you would have 6-pack abs and
big
giant arms and well-cut, sculpted chest.
Well, that's the really wild thing is that when people have dreams about being naked in front of like groups of people or whatever, they don't necessarily think about what they look like in front of those people. They think about the emotional status of being in front of a group of people naked.
Yeah.
That's all they think about.
Yes, I did come to think about it. I did have a naked dream.
There you go.
Yes, I did. I did feel embarrassed.
Okay.
But I did nothing about my nakedness. I just sat there.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's a true testament of the duck's back syndrome, where water rolls off a duck's back. Is basically what happens when you get to a point in your life, when you get to a certain age, you eventually realize that nothing you say or do or how you act or any of this stuff can affect anything. So you just sort of let everything roll off your back. And in this case, when you're naked in your dream, you're not like, oh my God, I'm naked in my dream. You're just sort of like, whatever, and that's exactly what's happened to me in the past, 10 years or so. So, but yeah, but naked
dreams.
Naked dream. That's number 7.
Time for the Naked Jeff and Dan show.
Now, there's another disclaimer, or another one that's sort of back and forth. Actually, you know what? This one, I'm going to take that one. So we're going to go back to teeth. Number 6 is teeth.
Number 6 is losing teeth.
Losing teeth.
Yeah, and I brought that up as a dream, but it never is a pleasant dream.
Right.
It's not a pleasant dream.
Right. It's not like a happy memory or anything.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I had this most wild dream last night. I was in there, and all of a sudden, my 2 front teeth fell. Oh, my God, it was so cool.
I know, it was great. I can now smoke all the reefer I wanted and not even have to open up my mouth. Yeah. But no, yeah, it's that different type of dreams that play on the insecurities of people having it. Much like the nightmare about being naked in public, nightmares about teeth falling out are often a representation of the individual being filled with anxiety and inner turmoil about being judged by others on his or her physical appearance. Like I said, I can't think of any time where I've had nightmares about my teeth. The only time that I've had nightmares about my teeth, it was when I was awake and my teeth were breaking off left and right. So I'm just like, okay, yes, I'm having nightmares right now. My face is throbbing. I want to kill people. So, but yeah, that was it. So, okay, number 6. That was number 6. Let's do number 5.
Number 5 in our survey this week.
Number 5 is injuries. Injuries over poor test performance. So we're going to go with injuries. Apparently, people in their nightmares will have injuries or get wounded, and it's because they are often feeling weakness in their own personal lives. So basically, you get inflicted with some form of injury. Your dreams are trying to tell you, like a broken bone or an injury that basically disforms you in a way. For the most part, is your brain's way of alerting you that you are feeling weakness or vulnerable in one part of your life or another. So basically, yeah, I can see that. I honestly can't think of any time I've had dreams about being injured, except for the flying dream is a great example. I landed from flying. I landed just fine, but something seemed different. And it wasn't that I was necessarily different in any way. It just felt like I was different in some way. Maybe because I could fucking fly, but that's one of those things, It does tend to change you just a tiny bit. But no, that's, have you had any injury dreams?
No.
None?
Nope.
And neither have I. That's good. That means we're solid in our egos, in our ids. So, all right. So let's go to number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. And that would be, I'm going to have to go with partner leaving. Yes, a partner leaving you. My wife left me because she hates my guts. Yeah.
When I was going through my divorce, I had one of those dreams. Actually, I probably had a couple of those. But I just only remember one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't had that. To be honest with you, these scary dreams for me are striking out. I haven't had a whole lot.
Yeah.
I usually don't have scary dreams.
Yeah, me either.
I usually have the other kind.
Which are?
What the hell does that even mean?
Pleasant, but not so pleasant.
Pleasant and goofy.
Yeah. I've had goofy ones. I have had goofy ones. And they're like the ones that are just like, you can't decipher a goofy dream. I mean, you could try to, and you could bring up books and all kinds of shit, but to be honest with you, I don't think they're meant to be deciphered. I think they're meant to be an entertainment for your brain.
Entertainment or a filing system?
Could be that. Could be that. I could see that. But yeah, definitely. So partner leaving, yes. She had to leave me. She had the guts.
Your feelings for them are strong, especially for these nuts.
Yes, she had the guts for these nuts. So yeah, that's. But yeah, I've only limitedly had a partner leaving dream. I mean, I had. It's hard to explain. It's like it had already happened, so it was kind of like divorced. But I had never been married to the person to begin with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I felt like I was divorced from them and moving on.
Were you with them at the time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So It was not my wife. So that, you know, but that tells you it's been quite a while. But yeah, it was like I felt like we were divorced. But yeah, I don't know. We'd never gotten married. So it was kind of like a prophetic, but not really.
Were you...
So we never really got married.
Were you pleased, or were you sad, or were you in the middle? Or
I was kind of upset, you know, but at the same time, I felt like there was this weird weight that had been lifted off my shoulders.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of like, you know, yeah. I don't know. It is very difficult to express, but the amount of sorrow the dream created was just like, you know, unbearable.
Unbearable.
Yeah, it was like
heavy sorrow.
Yeah, it was like breaking you to think, you know, that, you know, these things were happening to you and it was completely kind of destroying you, you know. My wife has had numerous dreams. I'm going to knock her out. She's had numerous dreams where people have left, or I had left her, or some girl had gotten in between us or something, or, you know, jealousy dreams, which is weird because that's not in the nightmare list, even though she considers it a nightmare.
Is she a dreamer?
Yes. I'm a dreamer, nothing but a dreamer. Yeah, anyway.
Coming in at number 3 in our survey this week of most scariest dreams that we all have is...
being trapped.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've kind of had them.
Being trapped in a position... No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let's not do being trapped, because we did that before. We did that as number 10 at the beginning of this thing. Let's do a car trouble.
Car trouble. Car
trouble, yes. When your car is making it so that you will not be able to get to something in your dream, or you're not able to get to your next destination, is what they consider car dreams. But having problems with your car is already a nightmarish experience. But in dreams, vehicular mishaps signify much more than a looming oil change or balding tire. Vehicles often represent the physical body, while they can carry emotional implications as well.
Well, I heard more of the physical body, but that's okay.
Yeah. Like dreams of a home, the appearance of the car represents your outward perceptions, and your inner feelings are represented by what's under the hood. 9.5 feet of car. Anyway, you might be driving a wonderfully looking car only to realize the inside is a mess, or it doesn't function properly. The situation might parallel your internal feelings toward yourself. So basically, it's like saying when you have low self-esteem, that would be your internal parts of your car be all trashed and messy and shitty like that. To be honest with you, I've never had a car dream.
I've had a couple. They've always been... Well, the one I told you about, the flat tire, the truck and the flat tire, that was the only one where I've had a dream about an actual vehicle that I owned.
Right.
The other ones, no, they were all like that Ford Festiva. Wasn't a great car. It wasn't a new car. It was kind of old.
Yeah.
But it was still, you know, in good shape.
Yeah. It was getting you from point A to point B until it didn't. Yeah.
Most of my car dreams, not my dream car, but my car dreams.
Yeah.
The vehicles were okay. They were just usually old and a little bit obsolete.
Right.
So is that what I think of me? Old and obsolete?
Apparently so. That's what it's saying. That's the way you feel towards yourself on the outside.
That was the way I felt about me. The car would have beautiful headlights for eyes. Pile of trash in the front seat.
There you go. Yeah, the back seat's immaculately clean because you fuck back there 90.8 times in your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
And the stereo has every single song I love.
It's tuned right into the ultimate playlist. All right, so let's go to number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2 is suffering an injury, illness, or death. And in this case, it can also be falling, which we've already talked about falling. But severe suffering an injury, illness, or death in a way that is going to be, I don't know, that you are actually experiencing. Well, let's see what it says. Dreams of serious illness or death are very distressing, especially when we're reminded of the chilling old rumor that claims, if you die in your dreams, you will also die in your sleep.
Oh, here we go again.
I know, right? Damn.
Getting out the cassette tape.
We're fucking rehashing.
Shit. This guy's mine is beta, not VHS. Fudge.
I don't have any S-tapes. What the fuck am I going to do? Don't worry. Plenty of people have had these dreams and have lived to tell the tale. While dwelling on death can seem very morbid, in dreams, it can actually signify a change or a new beginning. I've heard that before. Death can represent the end of a certain stage in life. Well, it's like a rocket. Stage 2's gone.
Possibly. That does make sense. You know, the death of that fun-loving single guy drinking, partying, different women every night just comes to an end when you get married.
Right. Yeah. No more sex. Anyway, you know, like the end of your flannel and overalls hobo chick stage, which isn't necessarily a bad thing that you're getting away from that.
Why not? Oh,
I don't want to be a hobo chick. Fuck that.
Are my health dreams, my injury dreams, the only ones that I've had is where I was going to have surgery, and I have surgery phobia.
Yeah.
Could that be because I have surgery phobia, or was it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me get on to that and see what we have the rest of this way down here. But not all dreams about death have a silver lining. Sometimes they represent the ominous rain cloud they seem to be. Dreams of injury, illness, and death can signify feelings of emotional hurt or fear of being hurt. If a loved one is the one who is ill or dying, it may mean that the part of yourself you see in that person feels as if you were lost or dead. If you dream you are dying, suggests you are no longer able to cope with a troubling situation and should seek the help and advice of others.
That makes sense.
Dreams involving illness and death can be extremely frightening, but don't take them too literally because you can be oversimplifying their true meaning.
True.
Which is true, yeah. It could be something more deep-seated and a little bit more complicated, but more than likely you're probably just overlooking shit. Or, you know, just building shit up that isn't there, for the most part. Like my wife. Anyway. All right, so, and this is a consensus that this is the number one nightmare.
The number one nightmare.
Number one nightmare.
I bet I know what it is.
What is it?
Being chased.
Yes.
Yes.
Being chased or attacked. Yeah. It's pretty nasty.
I've had 2 of those.
I have.
Yeah.
I've had that. I told you about before that I had dreams when I was a kid that like Scooby-Doo characters, people that weren't Scooby-Doo in the Klan, it was other people, had become really, really huge and were chasing after me. Mm-hmm. And I always had a gigantic dream. I don't know why giant dreams freak me out, but they really do. Giant things in general freak me the fuck out. But when it's somebody chasing me in my dream, it's usually something that's really big and something I can't outrun. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't had those dreams in years because I'm probably that giant, instead of being that little kid anymore.
I was just going to say, were these giant dreams, were they when you were a kid, when everything was a giant to you?
Yes, yeah.
So...
Yeah, when I couldn't reach the top of the refrigerator, which I do kind of still hold that as a threshold for your childhood, is when you can reach something on top of the refrigerator is when you've gotten to that point where you're old enough to start doing things on your own, such as using a knife to cut your food, using a knife to cut your sister, using a knife to chop up your family. No, I'm just kidding. No, but to reach up on top of the refrigerator it means a bunch of different things. It means that you're tall enough, of course. So you can do other things. More than likely ride most rides if you go to a park or whatever. But it also means you have those responsibilities. Like for the longest time, all of my children, up until around 7 or 8 years old, I always poured their cereal for them. And now my second youngest is 11 years old, and he's at that point where he can reach on top of the refrigerator. So now I just let him pour his own cereal. See what I'm saying? Another really good one was staying after them about taking showers. When he definitely has a grip of being able to reach stuff on top of the refrigerator, I now think he's old enough and tall enough to be able to take his own showers without anybody else telling him. Because right now it's a scheduled kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's like, you got to get in the shower.
You know, boys at that age cleanliness is not on their radar.
Right, exactly. Cleanliness is not next to godliness. I don't want to be a god, so I don't need to clean. So anyway, being chased or attacked. To be chased or attacked by something or someone is a ubiquitous nightmare shared by all dreamers. Ubiquitous, of course, meaning spread out very far and wide.
When you had those dreams being chased, did you find you moved very slow and sluggish?
No. I was running at normal speed, okay? But something was causing me to not be able to get away from those things that were coming after me.
Like the ground turned into carpet?
Right, like I was at one point running over wood, and it was nice and solid, straight, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden I was running through mud or sand, which like really, really slows down your progress. Not anything like quicksand where I was getting sucked into it. It was just I could not run fast enough, and these things were coming after me and they could get me. So yeah, it was kind of creepy. But
when I have those kind of chase dreams or fight or flight dreams, and I've always moved sluggish,
right,
slow, and weak. And the couple of dreams I had where I needed to fight, I pull back to punch, and I end up just tapping somebody.
Oh, yeah. I have had that dream.
But that really hurt me, man. What are you going to do next?
You going to mess me up? Come on, man. Let's do this. No, Debo. Anyway. The scenery and assailant might change figure or form, but the act of being chased in a dream always signals to our body's fight or flight response, which is very much true. The chase dream is remarkably prevalent because the fight or flight response is a primal reaction embedded in every single human being, arising when faced with dangers or fear, which is true. We do have those as our animal instincts. Sigmund Freud characterized these dreams as the manifest dream content of persons suffering from anxiety. And I will admit, as a kid, I was pretty anxious. I didn't have anxiety attacks, but I was pretty fucking anxious. A lot. A lot of it was unhealthy.
I can't say about me. I've had these kind of dreams recently. I mean,
wow.
They're not ever close together.
Right.
Like the one before this one recently was probably 10 years ago.
Oh, wow. Dry spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really dry spells.
Super dry spell.
Weed. Because fuck alcohol.
That's right, because the more you know. Anyway, so he characterized these as the manifest the person's suffering from anxiety. This anxiety reflected in a chase dream could stem from a various number of concerns, from menial worries about getting stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic to substantial fears of getting into a full-on collision. As these genuine fears are embodied in a phantasmal pursuit, the actions you take to escape this hounding danger parallel how you would react to the stresses, fears, and pressures of reality. So basically, what they're saying is whatever you're doing in the dream to get away from this thing is probably what you're going to try and do in real life to get out of these problems of, pressure, stress, anxiety. Which makes sense. It really does. Not always, because be like, oh man, I'm going to... I'm gonna find out that the dream that I had. The dream that I had was running and I got on a jet ski all of a sudden and I outran the thing. Doesn't mean I'm gonna in my real life be like, oh man, I'm not gonna get on a jet ski. Yeah, so
it just means that you will overcome, or you have confidence in yourself that you will overcome.
Yeah, you have the ability to be able to get away from the situation. In one form or another, and be able to get yourself out of being anxious. But like I said, I haven't had chase dreams in a really long time. Now that I've said that, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go tonight and freaking have 6 or 7 chase dreams. So, but yes, that's it, man. The top 10.
That's it. That's the top 10 dreams and the top 10 nightmares of the
Yes.
Jeff and Dan Show.
Yes.
Tune in next week when we do the top. I don't know yet. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's make it a secret.
Yeah. Top 10 secrets.
Well, we'll figure something out. But, you know, in the time period, you guys just keep a lookout at us on Facebook, which is facebook.com// The Jeff and Dan Show. All is one word. Or Twitter at twitter.com/ Jeff and Dan. Or, of course, on our website, jeffanddan.com. And, yes, on Spreaker, our home base for doing all this stuff.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So what else do we have, man?
Well, I have one more thing.
One more. Okay,
And
what do you got?
It's great.
Okay.
It's a new segment on the Jeff and Dan Show.
New segment.
It's called Dan's Irrelevant Movie Reviews.
Oh, cool.
Because, well, Dan doesn't go to the movies. Dan rarely watches movies.
That's true.
And when Dan watches movies, it's for the 900th time and he has it on TV because he's going to sleep. So, when I watch a new movie, it's usually been out for 3-4 years, and it's just pretty much gone by the wayside. So this movie that I am going to review this week is the rebooted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
Did you happen?
Have I seen this one? Is this the one with Megan Fox?
Yes, the
Oh,
one
no.
Megan Fox.
I have not watched it. That's
Really?
the one. That's the one that, like, I think Michael Bay did it or something. Didn't he do the?
Doggone it, you won't be able to answer questions for me then.
Oh.
But I'll try anyways.
Well, I am steeped pretty well in the canon of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
Well, it's not about the movie. Well, it's about the technique.
okay.
The technique with the camera work was very odd.
It's constantly flowing, kind of odd. All shot in one scene, kind of odd.
No, kind of like the background wasn't real.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can definitely tell that. That's CG, man. That's what these guys all fall into.
So most of this movie was CG?
Yes. Yep.
It just didn't look real.
Did you see the one? Which one did you see? Did you see Out of the Shadows, which was the newer one, or did you see the first one?
The first one.
Okay.
The one that would, they, which, I don't know if you remember this or not, but the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
I saw with you and your girlfriend at the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or
I
not.
don't remember that.
That's okay. That's all
Yeah.
right. But it was at Fox Theaters in Hanover.
Oh okay.
Want to go to the movies? Yeah, sure. Yeah. There was a Hills right beside that movie theater. Was it the Hills?
Yeah.
No.
No. Hills was up the road a little bit.
What's the name of that store?
Value City.
Value City. Yes.
Not just Value City, not Value City Furniture.
Yeah, just Value City.
Yeah.
So I saw the first one with you at the movie theater, and I saw the second one on TV, which I thought it was pretty good. It didn't follow the original.
No. Yeah.
Like the original one, it was an accident. The turtles accidentally started swimming in goo, radioactive goo,
Right.
and then they became these mutant ninja turtles.
Mutant Ninja.
Now, in the second one, they were planned. I'm not going to give the movie away.
Okay.
It was planned by Shredder
Yes.
and some scientists, and they lost these turtles, or these turtles were hidden away from them because they realized the danger. And so, anyways, not to make a long story short, there was not one pizza in the movie.
Oh really?
Yes, and I was just waiting for the pizzas because
That was
what do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles eat?
Lots of pizza.
Lots of pizza.
That's right. And there wasn't one pizza in the whole movie.
Not a single pizza.
That's freaking ridiculous.
Not a single pizza.
That is canon right there. They just fucking threw that out the window.
And I forget, you remember Casey in the first movie? He was
Yes.
like a hockey player, long-haired, tough guy.
Yeah.
Fucking people up right and left with his
Yeah.
hockey stick.
Yeah. Mask and everything
Yeah.
on. He was actually in the comics too.
The male that was in the movie wasn't that way at all. He wasn't tough. He wasn't a fighter.
He was a pussy.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh jeez.
So,
Was it Will Arnett?
who's Will Arnett?
The guy, I don't know if he was it or not. Will Arnett is the... Let's see. I'll tell you what else he's been in. He's been on TV shows and stuff, too. He has... he was in the Lego movie. He played Batman. That won't do any good because that's animated. So, yeah, that's not going to work out so well.
I think that was him now that I get a look at him.
Yeah,
I think that was him.
Because he's pretty high up in the thing, and usually that's a person that gets a lot of airtime in the movie itself, as if you're higher up the list.
Yes, he was in both Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it was
that.
Probably the same guy.
In the 14 and the 16 one.
Yeah, yep.
And he was also in The Nut Job.
Oh, yeah. He's been in a lot of animated shit.
Which is where she just plays with your balls.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
She boxes your balls like they're fucking punching bags.
This dude has been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. Which is really wild, because if you try to find out where he got his start, if you go all the way down his list, go down to see where he got his start at.
The acting class in 2000.
Yeah.
Close Up in 1996.
Yeah.
It says here Arrested Development, but I don't know when that was. That's the earliest one I can see. Is the Close Up 1996. I don't even know if is that really a real movie?
Yeah, so I guess it might have just been a little tiny, you know what I mean, like a short film or whatever. But if you go click on it and see what it says, nope, it was a real movie.
Yeah, 1 hour 24 minutes.
Yeah, had some unfamous people in it. But
Rotten Tomatoes gave him a whole bowl full.
Oh boy, screwed. No, but I mean, usually with people like him, you would see him normally in something like Saturday Night Live, or you know what I mean, because he's always come up as this sort of this character that could do stuff on like Saturday Night Live. But yeah, he didn't even do anything like that. He just sort of inserted himself. Right. Yes, that was against the rules. No, but he inserted himself into movies and stuff, and all of a sudden became this dude. And it's like, yeah, he's in a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of it's animated. He does kid stuff, but yeah, he does other stuff too, where he's going crazy. Like, well, the big one for him right now is Batman, Lego Batman.
Lego Batman?
Yeah, where he plays Batman. He's like, yeah, I'm Batman. You know, he's all, hell yeah, cool. Look at me, I'm cool.
Did you see? Well, that doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah.
The one movie that kind of does appeal to me, the Emoji Movie. Did you see that or see any trailers for it?
No.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
I did not see that, so I did not see the Emoji Movie. I saw it and I thought, why? Why would you want to make that? And apparently I'm not alone, because it has one of the worst ratings ever on Rotten Tomatoes.
Figures. I liked them. I want to see the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's... What are you going to do? Apparently it, though, is really taking the nation by storm.
Oh,
right
it is. And it's like, I just want to cry because, A, I can't stand horror movies.
Yeah, it's me either anymore.
B, I can't stand copycats.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Well,
now, Halloween is different, and, but we're going to have a lot of people now dressing up in clowns again.
Right.
You're going to see red balloons all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
You know.
And they're saying that, clowns are getting a little bit mad because that's just a fucked up thing to start with. But clowns are getting upset because this movie is really screwing with their business. And I'm just like, dude, seriously? There's enough people in this world that hate clowns.
Really?
Yeah.
There is.
And it's like it's a love-hate relationship. I have nothing against clowns. Clowns don't bother me at all.
They bother me a little bit in the fact that...
They're creepy.
Well, yeah, they're creepy, and it's like, why are you hiding?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they well, actually, I think what you would want to say is, what are you hiding? You know what I mean? Because oh my God, Lipo's got a big old dick. I mean, wait a minute. Bop, bop. You hit it on the end, it squeaks. Meep, meep. Yeah, he walks around bashing you on your fucking head with his dick as he's walking around. Yeah, he's having a good time. Fuck him. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I've never, I grew up going to Barnum and Bailey Circus. And Ringling Brothers is when they got together, I guess so. Which is no longer, by the way.
Yeah.
They went out of business. But
yeah.
That's the thing. I was always raised, around clowns, and clowns never really sort of freaked me out. Dude, to be honest with you, I have been so desensitized to all sorts of horror movies since watching all of this shit for, so many years that it just desensitized me. So, like, everything that you could possibly think would be scary is not scary to me.
So, you can watch these... Oh, God, that one TV show, Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Is just...
I hate it. Yeah,
oh, my God, it is so demonic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that, too. Yeah.
And these are some really sick...
individuals
that are doing this shit. And I don't know if they made it up or if it's real.
Yeah. I mean, you should watch.
Just so demonic. I just like when I watch these, I start to feel rage because I want to go get the bad guy. I want to go beat the living fuck out of the bad guy.
Right.
But I can't.
Say hi to the bad guy. No, one thing you should probably not watch then is some of the new Law and Orders like Special Victims Unit and Criminal Intent.
Well, I've watched those two.
Really fuck with your head because what's
especially
his face?
the sex ones.
Yeah,
the SUV.
Yeah,
SVU.
The SUV. It drove him down. Yeah, but no, yeah, I know, yeah. That's the thing, and a lot of those is really, really weird. But if you watch Criminal Intent, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one with. Vincent D'Onofrio.
Which one's Vincent D'Onofrio?
He's the really big, burly guy who's like, he sort of acts like he's a little bit emotionally unstable on the show. It's really, really wicked. He's been in a lot of stuff too. If you looked his shit up on IMDb,
kind of have a little,
IMDb, you'd be like, holy crap.
Little lazy eye, kind of maybe.
No, not really. No. He's a big fella. I mean, he's got to be easily 6'4", and hulking, kind of like me. But
and I don't understand the characters on that show either. Like the psychologist.
Yeah,
he's. Oh my God, he's 18. How can he be a psychologist?
Hey, Doogie Howser was only 17. He was a surgeon. Think about that for a minute.
That makes it okay.
Yeah,
he started the Ivy League when he was 4.
Yeah. But then again, he's gay, so you don't kind of bash him, But he was really, really fucking funny in Harold Kumar movies.
Who?
Neil Patrick Harris. Doogie Howser.
No, I don't watch any of his stuff.
He was funny, dude. Oh my God, he was hilarious in Harold and Kumar. He's the whole time. He's like he gets in the back of the car with them, and they're driving down the road. And he's like, "Let's go to the fucking whorehouse." And the guys are like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna jam out with I'm gonna rock out with my cock out. This bitch gonna jam out with her clam out." Exactly. I was like, "Dude, that's fucked up." He was really super funny in those. But, dude, I kind of hope in a way that they continue making some of the Harold Kumar movies, but it's really a genre that has not been picked up and run off with.
What's the genre?
Weed.
Oh.
Smokers.
Really?
Yeah, Harold and Kumar, or they get fucking high the whole movie.
Oh, dude, I've never seen any of these movies.
Oh, man, dude, you got to come to my house and watch this shit.
Sorry, I never even heard of these movies.
The funniest one was it wasn't the Christmas one. It was one right before that. The second one. They ended up getting into this cabin out in the middle of the woods, and they were like sitting there, and then he's like, "Dude," he goes, "I think we're in," and all of a sudden from the other room, "Condi, is that you, baby? You here? Come on in." It's Bush. And they're like, yeah, they were getting ready to get high, and then they realized, oh shit, I'm in the president's, cabin. And then they sit there and they get all fucked up together. It's really, really cool, dude. But that's the thing. You would think that somebody especially with as mainstream as weed is getting, somebody would come along and do the Cheech and Chong routine. But nobody has done it, dude. It's one of those things that it just remains open. And I think so much if you and I could figure out ways to do sketches that small little snippets, we could do them on the show and show the videos too on the website. People would fucking eat that shit alive, man. It would eat it up, man. And that's the thing. We have to be able to work it out and find the dynamic that makes it funny.
Well, I don't think the weed audience is as large as what you think it is.
I think it is. I think it's a lot bigger than you think it is.
And I think it's some people like my wife who doesn't really have anything against weed,
right?
But she doesn't really find it funny or appealing at all.
Has she ever watched Cheech and Chong?
I doubt it.
You should get her to watch one of those. Have you seen all the Cheech and Chong movies?
Have I? I've seen a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen them all or not.
Some of them are really hard to follow along because it's kind of like it gets broken up along the way.
That one I remember was kind of hard to follow. I don't remember the movie.
Yeah, as where they were trying to drive a truck back over the Mexican border.
No, it was the one made out of weed.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
Up in
remember
Smoke.
that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one, yeah.
There's a lot of funny shit in that one. Then there was one where they went to Amsterdam.
That was the one that was hard to follow.
Right, exactly. Because what happened in that one was they came to Amsterdam and everybody there in Amsterdam, not knowing anything, there was no internet, so they didn't know anything. They just only what they saw in magazines and stuff, thought that because Cheech with a big mustache was Burt Reynolds. And because Tommy Chong dressed so flagrantly, he wasn't like gay or anything, but he was just flagrant, they thought he was Dolly Parton. I know, right? Yeah, it's fucked up. And he's got a big-ass beard. Hey, man, what's happening, dude? You know, totally freaking people out. They're like, oh, my God, it's Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. Come on, you know. Anyway, what happens in that movie is they break away from whatever they're doing and show a routine of them on stage. And that's what kind of messed everybody up because he'd never seen a breakaway like that where you just go to their stage act. Because that's exactly what they have. They have a stage act.
Yes, now it's coming back to me. Yes, it didn't make a lick of sense to me back then.
Right. And that's basically what it is. And some of the stuff just really wasn't, super funny.
Right.
But right. I'm pretty sure if we took apart some other weed movies and stuff and other things, I'm pretty sure we could come up with at least a few sketch storylines that we could put some stuff out there and become the next Weed Brothers.
Or hell, just tell the stories from true life that we...
That too. Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of shit in there, man. Yeah.
Just the stories just trying to find weed are just this huge reservoir.
Hilarious as hell. Yeah.
But anyways...
But yes, the Emoji Movie, just real quick, I wanted to point that out. The Emoji Movie is currently at 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
9%?
9%, yes.
Of what?
Out of 100.
Ooh, so it's really low.
Yeah.
Doing really poor.
Very poor. It only made $1.2 million at the box office.
Well...
That's how bad it was. It was pretty bad. Now, here's the thing. You see this kind of shit, and and sometimes when I see that, I go, it couldn't have been that bad. You know what I mean? So then I walk in and watch the movie, and I'm like, well, maybe, it was a little bad, but it's not that bad. I can see why it got so bad. But whenever a movie gets below 25%, it's usually shit.
But there have been tons of movies, I just can't think of one right now, where it's done horrible at the box office, and then it had this huge cult following afterwards.
Yeah, there's tons of them like that. Yeah, the box office... There's a list, as a matter of fact, somewhere where it has one of the biggest fan bases. And it's not only for movies, it's TV shows, too. It's like Star Trek. Star Trek didn't have a really big, huge fan base at the beginning. And then all of a sudden, between, the late 60s and early 70s, it got blossomed.
When it went into syndication.
Right. And people got to see it.
Huge.
Exactly. And that's the other thing, too, with TV shows especially, is that they can syndicate. And when they do... People eat that shit up. They really, really do. And they get a chance to see something that they never had a chance to watch before. So, that's definitely it. So, anywho. So that was that. I just wanted to be able to make sure we got that on the air so people know that it's at like a 9%. But don't feel bad for it because apparently Marvel's Inhumans, which is something I think on Netflix, as a matter of fact, got a 7%. I don't even think you can get fucking lower than that, but you can get lower than that, yeah. Lowest of all times, that's what they should have. They should have a thing like, oh my God, the worst ever. Yeah, they don't have that. All they have is top TV shows and stuff like that, but they don't have...
Quick question.
Okay.
How was the Orville?
Great.
Really?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. I didn't see it. I don't want to see it because I'll get pissed off and jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't you going to ask me why?
Why?
Because Seth MacFarlane is the funniest dude in the world.
Guaranteed.
And I can see quite a bit of me in him. And it's like, he's beating me to the punch of all my jokes.
Right.
And it's just like, his reservoir doesn't get low.
Right. Yeah.
Never. He
never.
just keeps cranking out the stuff. And it's always on a high level of funny.
Yeah.
It just, well, okay, let's take The Simpsons. The Simpsons funniness kind of died out 5-10 years into the show. Now they're just making stories.
Right.
And hats off to them. They're doing great. But Funny Guy has been running for 17 years.
Family Guy? Yeah.
What'd I say?
Funny Guy.
Family Guy. And it's hilarious today as it was back in season 2.
Yeah. Oh,
And Seth MacFarlane's always coming out with something new, like Cleveland. Now, granted, didn't do very good, but it was funny.
Right.
What's the other show he did?
American Dad.
American Dad.
That's that's not in syndication. You know that, right? That's still in the air.
Oh, they're still making them?
Yeah, but it's not on Fox. They're doing like TBS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but still, it's considered still being made. So.
And well, I haven't seen a new one lately, but I'm going to assume that it's doing great. It's just as funny today as when it first came out.
It is. Yeah, it's actually funnier because it seems like everybody's a little more familiar. You know what I mean? Like at the beginning, it's kind of like everybody's a little awkward. The chemistry's there, but it's kind of weak.
And now he's doing the Orville,
right?
Which he needs to dry up, man. No, I guess it's just the dude. I never felt jealousy like this until I wanted to be a comedian.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Do you feel jealousy towards great movie makers?
I do.
You do?
I do, yeah. I'm like, the worst of the jealousy is always like this. They shouldn't be that fucking famous. You know what I mean? Because they're not that good. They're not that good. They shouldn't be that famous.
Really?
But they are. Yeah.
I was going to say Howard Hughes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was horrible. Howard Hughes was fucking horrible, dude. Yeah. Yeah, he's been admitted it himself. He even said, I'm a terrible filmmaker. He goes, I just like spending money, though. So that's what he did. He spent money. Hell's Angels or whatever it is. Yeah, that he made it cost like $15 million, which at that point in time was just insane. It was like the equivalent of Waterworld, which was like fucking $350 million. But yeah.
That one actually did well.
What, Waterworld?
Yeah.
No. It did horrible at the box office.
Did it?
Yeah. It I think grossed in its whole run. I think it grossed only like $1 million or $100 million. Let me just check real quick though.
The Mel Gibson guy?
No. Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Mad Max.
No, Mel Gibson was in a water movie. Oh, well, doesn't matter.
Yeah, man, you know.
Let's talk about Waterworld.
Let's talk about Waterworld. And it made, in its budget was okay, here's what it made. Budget was $175 million estimated. It went over that, okay? The gross was $88.246 million.
So who pays the difference? Where's that other $80 million $90 million coming from?
The other movies that came out that year for the same studios that did really, really well. That's where they make up their money from.
So when they go in to make movies, do they expect to have a couple bombs?
No, not with ones like Waterworld. Waterworld should have been, dude, it's a really good movie. But they really, really should have done it a little bit differently when it came to how they marketed the movie. Because they marketed it as, it's the biggest epic you'll ever see in all of your whole life. And actually it wasn't. It's not it's a huge movie. It really is. It's the water version of Mad Max. Which is probably what you're thinking you might have heard of at some point in time. It's the water version of Mad Max. And it's really exactly what it is. It's a dystopian future where people are all completely separated. The world has completely melted to all of its ice caps and has been flooded. It basically turned into a giant world of water.
And civilization has just broken down.
Civilization is pretty much gone. And there's only people that are living on things like atolls, which are little floating areas that they've put together over time, stuff that they've collected and created over time, and they put these things floating around out there. And then, of course, the bad guy of the movie has a oil tanker, boat, ship, full of gasoline. He's the one that does, takes everybody's, stuff because he can. He's the most powerful, which turns out to be Dennis Hopper, by the way. He's the guy that was in the movie as the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, he was in Speed and
okay.
All those movies too. But yeah, he was really good in the flick, believe it or not. But the main problem is that people they had expected so much more because they marketed it as this massive epic, and it turned out to not be a massive epic. It just turned out to be one. Like an enjoyable movie, but they were, everybody was expecting to go in the theater and be like, "Oh, it's the greatest movie ever. It's better than Gone with the Wind." And I think Kevin Costner had a lot to do with that. I think he told the companies, is like, the movie that I'm making is going to be epic, and those people were like, "Okay, let's take it and run with it." Because I remember the commercials for it, and I'm just like, "Yeah, oh my God, it's going to be the biggest thing ever, the really coolest thing ever." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, maybe not so much." Wasn't the greatest thing ever, I can tell you that now. So, but yeah.
Quick side note.
Okay.
You see J.J. Abrams is recruited to direct and write the next Star Wars
9,
movie?
yes.
9.
Yes.
And 8 is coming out in December?
December.
This year?
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah, so 2019 is when J.J. Abrams' next Star Wars, because he did 7. That's when his next one's coming out. And I'm happy about that, because J.J. Abrams has a great visionary mind.
Oh, I think he did a great job with The Force Awakens.
Right, yeah.
At 3 a.m.
He's like, wait a minute, this sounds like something else. I just can't put my finger on what else. Oh, yeah. After he shows the movie, it's like, oh, yeah, it is kind of like A New Hope, isn't it? Wait, there's some stuff in here. It looks like a Strikes Back, too. Holy shit, we fucking made the movies over again. We rebooted them, son of a bitch. Well, according to Mark Hamill, this next upcoming number 8 is going to be The Last Jedi. According to him, it's supposed to be pretty epic.
Well, it can't be The Last Jedi. It can't possibly be The Last Jedi, because... Right. That is good. That is the force of good.
Right. Well, if you think about it, then what was the name of the last movie? Number 6.
Revenge of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
Yes, Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And who the fuck was it? It was Luke. He was the only Jedi. Everybody else was dead. Think about it. And then we found out that Leia had some of the powers too.
But the Force is like God. If you want to compare,
kind
the
of.
Force isn't going to die. The Force could care less if the Jedi dies or not. It's just going to go in somebody else.
Right. Well, the living life forms, midichlorians, the ones that go into the people, they're actually born with them. Darth Vader was born no father, so he was Christ, if you will, and then turned bad, so he was Satan, if you will. But that was the thing. Is midichlorians, yeah, they'll never go away. They'll always be there, and that's why it's not. You don't want to look at the title and be like, this is the end-all, be-all of this situation. Because Revenge of the Sith was not really a revenge of anything, because all the Sith died up until that point. The Emperor and Darth Vader were the last two of that to remain. And if it had not been for them giving, the clones go out and kill all the Jedi, they would have had Jedi to fight against. But they soured it and became dickheads and totally executed them, before they even had a chance. So when they say, Last Jedi, I'm thinking, the last known Jedi would technically be Luke, but he wasn't really a Jedi. He never became a Jedi Knight. He even said so. Yoda told him, you must return. You cannot make this fight. And he's like, I've got to fight. I've got to save my friends. And he did. Well, to an extent he did. Lost his hand over it. But, no more jacking off with that hand. But yeah, and that's the thing. The whole experience was when Yoda died, he was the last of what we would have considered the Jedi. And then, now we're in 7, and there are no Jedi at all. It's just everybody the rebellion against, the new First Order.
2 things you have to keep in mind.
Okay.
Number 1, Disney is a huge machine.
Right.
They're not going to let what they paid big money for just fade away.
Well, they almost recuperated it all. Did you see that?
No, but I believe it. So they're going to write in the script of another Jedi.
Right.
Somewhere along the line, another one will appear. And secondly, because it's so huge to them, because this movie is so huge, it's going to be around till at least we die.
Right. Yeah. I think so. And I don't know if they're going to go beyond 9, though. Because if you remember correctly, we all talked about it when we were kids. We were like, oh, yeah, Lucas is going to do 9. He's going to do this 3, and he's going to do another 3, and he's going to do another 3.
Yeah.
So it was
do
like
4, 5, and 6 first,
right.
1, 2, and 3 second,
right.
and then 7, 8, 9 third.
Exactly.
That's what we all thought.
That's what we expected.
And it's true so far.
Yeah. So far it's come to fruition. The thing is, though, is that Disney's being smart because they're putting out movies, far apart from one another, but in between they're putting out movies that could tell other stories. Like this December
Rogue One?
is the 8th. Yeah, Rogue One came out last December. Then 7 came out, then Rogue One, then this movie, 8. Then next year, in 2018, it's supposed to be the Han Solo story, which is the basis story for, who he became.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, and then 9. And then 9 is supposed to come out, and at that point, they were talking about doing a Yoda movie. They're talking about doing a Boba Fett movie. They're talking about all these different places they could head.
You could just go on and on and on.
For the end of time, yeah. Easily. And that's one of those things, and I think they will take it. They will do that because they have to drain those wallets, And
I also think Vader's going to come back because Vader is the number one selling character of the whole franchise.
Always.
By far.
Yeah. He was in all 6. So
you can't leave your number one character in the grave.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree.
So
it somehow, some way, it's probably going to end up being, what's his name? Kylo Ren. It's probably going to end up being, either he becomes the next Lord Vader or somebody else,
Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, master. Did you see? There was just real quick. There was a thing out that somebody had created a theory about the Force Awakens, number 7. And the theory goes like this. Of course, the most powerful thing in that movie was when Han Solo died. Okay, and there was something that somebody had really said makes a lot of sense. In the effect that maybe Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, didn't kill him. Not that he didn't kill him. I mean, he's dead. He's definitely dead. But imagine if Han is the one that turned on the lightsaber. Because you don't see the lightsaber in the movie. You see him pull it out and put it in front of him, and then from there on, you never see the thing come out. You never see who pulls the switch. You never see who does the button. You never see the blade go through Han Solo, or you see the upper part of the blade come out of Han Solo. But there's this Star Wars theory. Let's see if I can find it. That says that Han Solo probably committed suicide. And let me read this to you. Basically, this will kind of explain it, at least hopefully. Yeah, if I can get this fucking thing to react the way it's supposed to.
React, damn it.
Yeah. Kylo Ren's journey to the dark side required him to kill his father. Han knew this, and knew that Snoke would kill his son if he failed this task. In other words, if he failed to kill Han Solo, Snoke would kill Kylo Ren. By Han activating the lightsaber himself, Kylo can still go back to Snoke and report that the deed is done, which he did. If you remember, he said that everything was finished.
Snoke is the big, giant, huge, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you watch the clip of the movie when Kylo Ren's out there with Han Solo, Kylo pulls out his lightsaber. You see this part, and then you see Han raise his hands, but you don't see exactly what he does with them. We think there's a possibility that he just put his hands on the lightsaber at the same time, and that was it. Like, he knew it had to have something, going on there. And they think that to save his son, he ended up killing himself.
Why don't we play the? Why don't we play it?
Play the clip. Do you have it?
Yep.
Okay.
Take off that mask. You don't need it.
Turn it up.
What do you think you'll see if I do?
The face of my son.
Okay, now they're all standing around looking at
Your son
Kylo.
is
Yeah.
gone. He was weak and foolish, like his father. So I destroyed him.
That's what Snoke wants you to believe. But it's not true. My son is alive.
No. The Supreme Leader is wise.
Snoke is using you for your power. When he gets what he wants, he'll crush you. You know it's true.
Wow, that was interesting.
No, it's not. Leave here with me. Come home. We miss you.
I'm being torn apart.
That right there.
I
where
want
he
to be
said
free
that.
of this pain.
I'll be free of this pain.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
There. That's why they think there's a theory that Han Solo did it.
Will you help me?
Yes. Anything.
Will you help me? Yes, anything. Look at the expression on his face.
Kind of blank. Or sad. Okay, he's giving the saber to Han.
Yeah.
Han takes the saber.
Yes. And then something happened in the background. Everybody had to turn around.
Yeah. Okay. Can't see nothing. I mean, you just see the two characters. You don't see the saber.
Right.
All you see is shoulders and above.
There. See, he puts his hand on it.
Yep. Okay. Both
And it
hands
looks
are-
like it's going to be some kind of struggle.
What? Right there, though. Right there.
What is it?
Kylo just jammed it in a little bit further.
Oh, yeah, he did. Then he says thank you, though.
I need a medical capsule.
Saddest fucking
no.
scene in Star Wars.
Yeah, but he's living forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's not going to be a ghost, though, but yeah, he's living forever.
No, I mean, he's living too long after he just had that thing. Because you remember how they killed that one Jedi with long hair?
Oh, yeah.
She died instantly.
Yeah.
Well, there's Princess Leia. She feels like shit now.
Oh, yeah. She knows the Force. She has the Force. So she felt him die.
Oh, Chewie, come on! Hit him! Oh,
Yeah.
Chewie fired a shot from his
Into the
crossbow.
fucking thing. Yeah, now he's shooting over there. Yeah, a bunch of people end up dying. But
All
yeah.
right, well, you know what? That theory could still hold water, but I guess we'll see.
Good
I
whole
guess we'll
gentleman.
see.
Yeah.
So,
All right, man.
yes, sir.
Are we good to go, or do we want to?
We are good to go.
We're good to go. Okay, here we go, folks. Hey, it's been nice having you on for the show. A little bit slower today, a little slower pace, but that's good sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. There we go.
Well, gazing outside our weather window, it appears that the storm is all but past, and the hurricane force winds have eroded into a nice, gentle breeze.
Yeah.
So we lower the international hurricane warning flag, and we raise the international "The Jeff and Dan Show is over" flag. Wow, what was that?
Yeah, powerful.
But have no fear, for the Jeff and Dan Show will return in exactly 165 nautical hours due west. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We hope you laughed. We hope you were informed. But most of all, we hope we planted the seed of a good nightmare or intriguing dream. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And as always, have a good night and a great week.